Who wants a muffin? 'Cause baby, it's muffin time. Back with the squirrel with the nut. Karate squirrel. But yeah, we're watching.
It was a week after Pinkie Pie saw the sonic rain boom and got her cutie mark.
That was quick.
She was in the kitchen making her very first batch of cupcakes.
Cookies.
Pinkie had just pulled them out of the oven and was now frosting them with bright pink icing. Her sisters, Blinkie Pie and Inkie Pie, came into the kitchen to see what she was doing. Pinkamena,
where's Marble?
What in the equestria are you making? Asked Inkie Pie in a dull tone. Pinkie Pie turned to them with a huge smile, holding up the plate of cupcakes.
I make
cupcakes!
She exclaimed. Want to try them?
Blinkie Pie and Inkie Pie exchanged glances. Then each of them slowly grabbed a cupcake and took a bite. They chewed, and a small smile appeared on their faces. Pinkie Pie bounced, giggling.
Do you like them?
Said Blinkie Pie. They're good.
Just good?
Asked Pinkie, her smile
They need to be more than good. They need to be actually soul-stealing.
There's something a little off about them, but they're still good.
But
off?
I want them to be great,
Pinkie Pie murmured as her sisters left the room.
What's off about them?
She took one of her own cupcakes and bit into it. It was good, but she knew there was something missing. Pinkie set the cupcake down and began searching her cupboards for something she could possibly add.
We must have meat.
Suddenly, she let out a sharp cry and withdrew her hoof. There was a small cut on her wrist, which had started to bleed. She looked at what scraped her and saw a cheese grater. Pinkie sighed and looked at her adequate cupcakes. She gently licked her wound to clean it, but froze, her eyes wide. The taste of her blood was good. Really good.
Cannibalism?
She licked again and then smiled. She grabbed her half-eaten cupcake and gently squeezed her cut, letting a few drops of blood hit it and soak into the fluffy cake. She picked it up, smiling excitedly, and took a bite.
Eureka!
Pinkie squealed.
I have solved the complex equation for cupcakes.
Fantastic!
She bounced out of the kitchen, out of the house, and into the shed across the way. There, she did extensive planning to make her cupcakes the best ever.
I just now realized there's like the question, would you like some cupcakes up on the top? I mean, not really kind of a big cupcake kind of guy. I'll eat some cupcakes, you know, like the public store-bought cupcakes, you know, with the chocolate frosting of the chocolate cake. Like, yeah, wait a minute. We have ice cream cake, right? Why don't we have an ice cream cupcake? Wait a minute. An ice cream cupcake. Has that already been made? Did I just come up with a new dessert? Am I a genius? Am I Albert Einstein but with cupcakes? Dude, I want an ice cream cupcake now.
Oh, these are much better, Pinkamena, Blinkie Pie exclaimed. Yeah, they're amazing, agreed Inkie Pie. The sisters were smiling broadly as they munched on the sweet cupcakes Pinkie Pie had set on the table.
I'm glad you like them,
she said, thrilled at the smiles on her sisters' faces. What did you do differently? Asked Inkie. Pinkie Pie winked and giggled.
It's a secret ingredient.
No more was said on the matter. Earlier that day, before she had made her second...
What kind of cupcake would you like? Would you like O positive or O negative?
Batch of cupcakes, Pinkie Pie had journeyed into the small town where
and
her
frankly,
family
I like
groceries.
B-.
She had her first failed batch of cupcakes with her, but she had put something extra in them. Sleeping powder. She walked around, looking at every pony to see who might be a worthy candidate. Pinkie Pie's eyes brightened as she saw Philly a little older than herself. She had a jet black mane and tail and slate-colored hide. Her cutie mark was a dark gray cloud with a frowny face, pouring rain. Pinkie bounced over to her, looking as cute as can be.
Hi,
she said, stopping the depressed-looking filly.
My name is Pinkie Pie. What's yours?
My name is Jeffrey Epstein.
Raincloud. She sounded nervous to be socializing with another filly.
You look so sad, Pinkie said kindly. You know what I do when I'm sad?
Sing a song,
asked Raincloud, looking interested.
When
Pinkie
I was
Pie
little,
took a cupcake from her basket and held it up.
Eat cupcakes!
Raincloud's eyes widened, staring at it as if it was the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen. It's so colorful, she said in awe.
We love cupcakes.
Food?
Yeah, said Pinkie. It'll cheer you right.
Did Raincloud just say, is that food? Yes, it's food. What? Huh. Interesting. Interessante.
Here, you can eat this and walk with me so I can tell you more about them.
Raincloud managed a small smile. Okay, she agreed in a quiet voice. She balanced the cupcake on her nose and walked with Pinkie out of the marketplace. Once they were out of sight of the town's ponies, Pinkie turned to Raincloud.
Why are you so sad?
She asked. Oh, said Raincloud, looking sadly at the ground. My brother, Stormhide, always pushes me around. He used to make fun of me for having a blank, but he makes fun of my cutie mark having a sad face on it.
That's no good! Pinkie exclaimed. What a meanie face! I'm so sorry he's like that. Taste your cupcake. It'll make you feel better.
They both stopped, and Raincloud took the cupcake off of her muzzle and nibbled a bit of it. The widest smile appeared on her face. She seemed to stand up a little straighter. Oh, wow! She squeaked. This is amazing!
Gee.
I can do better, said Pinkie with a slight grin.
She waited patiently as Raincloud devoured the cupcake.
Feel better?
Asked Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie?
Yeah, said Raincloud. But then she started to sweat.
Pinkie.
Oh, but I feel sleepy.
Nighty-night, don't let the pear sprites bite,
giggled the pink pony, and Raincloud collapsed to the ground. Pinkie then proceeded to dragging the unconscious filly to her shed at home, bringing her in and closing the door. While Raincloud was still knocked out, Pinkie Pie began dissecting her and putting organs into a bucket. Then she chopped up some of the meat and put it in another bucket. Raincloud was dead in...
Okay, see, I understand that Pinkie got the idea for putting, like, blood and stuff, and all that gore stuff into a cupcake to make it taste good, from that accidental, cheese grater incident thing, which is like, hey, wait a minute, this kind of tastes good with cupcake. But, like, how'd you go from just being like, yeah, I'm gonna enhance my cupcakes by putting my blood into it, and then you jump to literally drugging a child, making him sleep, kidnapping the child, dissecting the child, and then using his not only killing the child, but also using its organs to create cupcakes. How do you go from that? How do you go from that so fast? My girl Pinkie just went like, this tastes good, with the blood, needs a little bit, just a little tiny bit something extra. How about I kill a child?
Nearly 2 minutes. Pinkie Pie didn't know what to do with the body, but she decided to at least take Raincloud's cutie marks as a memento. Finally, she settled on throwing the rest of Raincloud's carcass into a lava pit a few miles from her home, where a small colony of dragons lived. Surprisingly, this didn't take too much time. When she got home, she brought cupcake mix to the shed and started preparing them, adding in her special ingredient. Once the batter was mixed, she carried it back to the house and started baking her cupcakes. Just as her sisters had said, they came out amazing. One day Pinkie Pie was getting ready to dissect a mare when Blinkie Pie and Inkie Pie walked in. Pinkie Pie whipped around, still holding a knife that she had been about to use. The sisters all stared at each other for a moment.
Good.
Pinkamena, what are you doing to that pony? Asked Inkie Pie.
I'm making cupcakes,
said Pinkie nervously, still smiling, though her eyes shifted from side to side. Blinkie Pie walked around Pinkie Pie and saw all the things needed to make cupcakes sitting on the little table. She looked at the unconscious mare and put two...
So just walk in, Pinkie, actually murdering somebody, and one of the sisters just like, Pinkie, what is this? You got a new utensil. You got a new tool. Why didn't you tell me?
2 and 2 together. Pinkamena, she said softly, you're making cupcakes.
Yes,
Pinkie squeaked. And you're going to use this pony in them? Said Inkie Pie, catching on.
Well, duh.
Pinkie Pie was starting to panic. Suddenly, she let out a wail, her hair deflating and going flat, and she lay on the ground, covering her face. Blinkie Pie slowly walked towards Pinkie and picked up the knife. Pinkie Pie watched her sadly, but was a little surprised when she inched towards the sleeping pony. In a flash, the knife was plunged into the pony's chest. Pinkie Pie sat up, looking bewildered. Blinkie Pie ran the knife down the mare's abdomen, opening her up.
"This is genius, Pinkie,"
said Blinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie's hair pooped up again and she hopped up.
"Really?"
she squealed. Inkie Pie ran over to them, smiling just as widely. "Yeah!" she laughed. "This is what made your cupcakes so good? It's the best idea ever!" "But why cut them open while they're knocked out?" asked Blinkie Pie.
"Well, if they're awake, they'll probably scream, and then Mama and Papa will hear,"
Pinkie Pie explained. "You know what?" said Inkie Pie, poking at the mare's still beating heart. "There's that abandoned cave on the mountain. We can set up a sort of harvest room up there. No one will hear the screams, and if they do, they might just think it's a dragon."
"We can play with them before we chop them up,"
said Blinkie Pie, hopping up and down.
Wow.
Pinkie Pie began bouncing around the room happily.
"That's such a great idea,"
she sang. When she stopped bouncing, she grinned at her sisters.
His sisters are stupid.
I didn't think you'd ever be as fun as me, but I was wrong.
"Finally, we have something to do together," said Inkie Pie. The 3 Pie sisters embraced, and then Blinkie Pie and Inkie Pie began helping Pinkie Pie make cupcakes. As time went on, the sisters decided they needed to be more organized when it came to choosing ponies. They all began learning the names of all ponies in the village and started writing them on slips of paper to put in a jar. They wrote a number next to each one, and when they needed more of their special ingredients, they'd pull a number at random. After capturing the pony that had been chosen, the 3 fillies would drag the body up to the cave where they had set up many different toys. The sisters would strap the pony to a stone table they fixed up, and when they woke up,
oh my god, I'm tired. Child.
They tortured the ponies, making jokes and bouncing around in the process. As time went on, they came up with new and better ways to play with their victims, inventing devices and bringing in random tools they find around the rock farm. They even saved the cutie marks, dividing them up between the 3 of them. It was tremendous fun, and they got to enjoy the best cupcakes in all of Equestria afterwards. The Pie sisters would even share the cupcakes with their parents and the ponies in the village, getting a reputation for being the sweetest fillies in town. They were nicknamed the Cupcake Sisters. Of course, there was a scare about the constantly missing ponies, but they considered the weekly delivery of cupcakes a distraction from the panic. It was a perfectly executed system. Finally, Pinkie Pie announced to her family that she was leaving the farm to spread smiles in Ponyville. "But who will make the cupcakes?" Inkie Pie exclaimed.
Me.
"I taught you everything I know," said Pinkie Pie. "I have faith in you."
The 3 sisters hugged tightly, and then Pinkie hugged her parents, who were completely unaware of the truth behind the cupcakes.
Heck nugget.
"Good luck, Pinkamena," said her mother, nuzzling her. "We know you will do well." Blinkie Pie actually started crying slightly. "Will you visit sometime?" she asked with a sniffle.
"I'll do what I can," said Pinkie.
Where's
she slung her
Limestone?
saddlebag over her back, waving goodbye to her family, and then bouncing away from the farm and into the sunset. When she arrived in Ponyville, she discovered the bakery, Sugar Cube Corner, ran by Mr. and Mrs. Cake. They agreed that she could have the upstairs part of the shop, and Pinkie would work there as well. Ponyville was much bigger than her old village, so it took some time to get to know every pony. She'd throw parties nearly every week so that she could make all new friends and know everyone's name. And so continued the nifty number system she had developed with her sisters, and Pinkamena Diane Pie began to share her cupcakes with the ponies of Ponyville.
Ah! Okay, that scared the frick out of me. Whoa, time to watch a 5-minute thing now. Let's go. Welcome back, Mr. Squirrel. This is like...
Hi, every pony. My name is Derpy Hooves, and I'm a gray Pegasus with yellow mane and tail and yellow eyes.
We love Derpy here.
I live in Ponyville all on my own because I don't know where my parents had to go. I learned to try and take care of myself, but it gets really hard sometimes, and I give up when it's too hard. But every pony is nice to me and laughs when they see me fly and run into stuff. I don't fly so good, but I'm better than I was when I was a filly. Every pony smiles when they see me, and they talk real slow and nice at me. It's good to have friends. My cutie mark is Bubbles. I think it got there the last time I saw Mommy. Mommy was teaching me to blow bubbles, and they were so pretty and flew high.
I remember that fic. there's a fic that was adapted for audio, I think, called Bubbles. I think it's pretty popular too. You guys have probably seen it, but yeah, watch that. I'm pretty sure this squirrel guy is the one who did the adapted it for audio. If not, he wrote it. I'm not completely sure. Like, damn, I remember that. Damn, wow, Bubbles.
Fly into the sky, just like a Pegasus does. They pop, and then I make more with the stick by putting it in the bubbly juice. But when the bubbly juice was all gone, I look around for Mommy, but she's gone. I didn't notice my cutie mark yet because I started crying and yelling for Mommy, but she never came back. I never saw Daddy again either.
Damn.
I walked and walked and walked until I came to Ponyville. There was lots of ponies, and even more Pegasuses. I tried to fly to show them I was a Pegasus too, but I don't fly so good. So I ran into a wall, and I got an ouchie on my nose. They took me to the doctor to get all better, but then I had no home to go to, so they took me to another doctor to let me live with other ponies. He said they were special like me, but no pony there was like me at all. They didn't have a Bubbles cutie mark. Some ponies had no cutie mark. A long time later, I had grown up and they helped me find somewhere to live. I live in a little house far away from the other houses. I have to walk a while to get to Ponyville. It makes me sad, but then I get happy when I remember that I can see a little bit of Ponyville from my window. But I spend a lot of time there because I'm happy there. I know some ponies by name too. I especially know Pinkie Pie, but Pinkie Pie knows every pony, so she knows me too. She's my friend now, but she says we're sisters, so she's my sister now. We play with Apple Bloom, and sometimes we like to make cupcakes and muffins. I especially love muffins. Pinkie Pie is teaching me to make muffins the best way, and it's so much fun. One of us takes out a little piece of paper from a jar that has a number of a pony in Ponyville, and then Pinkie Pie goes to get them and bring her to Sugar Cube Corner. We play in the basement that Mr. and Mrs. Cake don't know about, but I don't tell 'cause I'm not a tattletale. And if I told, I wouldn't be able to be with Pinkie and Apple Bloom no more.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, Pinkie Pie said she hates my tiny house and says, "Come live with me, Derpy." So I go to live with Pinkie Pie.
And you'll see
Sisters
a world
live
of pure
together,
imagination.
right? Apple Bloom lives with Applejack, so I live with Pinkie Pie. I love her room because it reminds me of yummy cakes and candy. Pinkie Pie built another bed that stands on her bed, but she says, "Derpy, you can sleep on the bottom bunk because I don't want you to fall on accident." I told her I could do it, and she let me, but then I fell and hurt my leg, so now I sleep on the bottom.
Again?
I'm so excited for today. We're going to make muffins and cupcakes. So I have a pony and Pinkie has a pony.
Muffin and
Apple
cupcakes.
Bloom is at school, so it's just me and Pinkie Pie. She won't tell me who my pony is, but I can't wait to meet her. I hope she has a pretty cutie mark, 'cause I'm making a scarf out of the cutie marks I cut off my pony's flanks. And I'm going to show Pinkie Pie how good I gotten at playing with them. And then I'll make the muffin mix all by myself. And Pinkie will help me put them in the oven 'cause it's too hot. Apple Bloom told us to leave her some. So I'm going to give her the biggest muffin I make. And Pinkie Pie is going to give her the cutie mark from her pony. Apple Bloom still doesn't have her own cutie mark. But I know she'll get it. She and Pinkie Pie are so very nice to me. And they don't even talk slow at me. They make sure no pony calls me stupid or nothing 'cause I'm not stupid. I just don't understand so good. When a pony calls me stupid,
I'm sorry,
it makes
I'm not
me really
commentating
want
like
to
at
make
all.
muffins.
Okay, well. Holy freak, I'm actually like about to pass out. Don't you just love it when you're about to pass out into a coma that you can never wake up from, no matter how much you squirm, try, or even just attempt to move one singular muscular bone in your body, no matter what you do, what you say, what you think, or what other people do, think, or say, you will forever be in a cryogenic sleep, just drifting aimlessly across the sea, wondering where's my time to shine, wondering why can't I be one of those normal people that get to spend life, that gets to just have life and just get to do life? Why am I constantly stuck in this endless cycle where I'm just drifting and drifting and drifting? Why? Where is my burger?